Bueno, buenas tardes. Damos comienzo formal a la videoconferencia de la Comisión 3 del curso de inglés. Mi nombre es Mariela de Lauro, soy la secretaria técnica de Proforbin. Ahora le paso la palabra a la directora de Proforbin, Marta Mena, que les dará la bienvenida.
Hola a todos y a todas, buenas tardes ya. Estuvimos en las primeras comisiones que dije buenos días, pero ahora ya buenas tardes. Tengo mucho gusto en participar con ustedes en esta primera videoconferencia del curso Inglés para la publicación de trabajos de investigación. Como digo siempre, y lo digo cada vez que podemos dentro de los cursos, y sobre todo cada vez que iniciamos una videoconferencia, que es un medio que nos interesa y al cual le ponemos muchas fichas, digamos. Es decir, destacamos algunas de los aspectos que podemos comprobar y podemos desarrollar a través de una videoconferencia. En primer lugar, esta pantalla de toda la galería que tenemos ya nos muestra uno de sus principales logros, es decir, que nos reconozcamos, podamos reconocernos. Ustedes estuvieron trabajando en el aula virtual, pero sin la posibilidad tal vez de verse y de interactuar, como sí podrán hacerlo durante esta videoconferencia. De modo que este medio complementa, según nosotros, complementa muy bien a todo el trabajo profundo que vienen haciendo en el aula virtual. Un trabajo más asincrónico, de análisis de documentos, de resolución de tareas, etc. Y en esta cuestión más, si quieren, como fue el comienzo, mucho más informal, donde pudimos interactuar, ¿sí? Espero que disfruten la videoconferencia, y les cuento, como digo siempre, que Mariela y yo, aun cuando no participamos en la videoconferencia, en el desarrollo de la videoconferencia luego de la clase, sí que la disfrutamos, ¿sí? Ok, damos entonces por iniciada, le pasamos a Matilde para que continúe con esto.
Okay. Hello, how are you? So I'm very glad to have you all of you here to see each other. So let me share the screen, just a moment. Okay, so there you can see a presentation. Well, can you hear me very well? So, how is it?
Okay, for me.
Okay.
It's okay.
Don't be shy, please. So this is a moment to share. It's an opportunity for you to ask, to review all what we have seen. That is the steps for writing a research paper, some manuscript submission and requirements. This paper, 6 things to do before writing your manuscript. And in the section 2, learning about the abstracts. That is really the core subjects of the course. So let's ask some questions. I have divided these questions in 3 different parts. The first one is the journal. And the first question is, before publishing your paper, what should you do? So what should you do? So think about yourself doing a paper. So trying first to search for a lot of materials, your idea about the paper. So tell me something about that. How do you organize? Come on, don't be shy.
Hello, I am Jimena.
Hello, Jimena.
Try to respond. The characteristic, I think that my paper have to abstract introduction, method, result, conclusion.
Okay, so these are the characteristics, but
Yes.
first going to the first question. So before publishing,
Okay.
so you are thinking about your paper, of course.
Yes.
And how should it be?
I think that I don't remember the word.
In Spanish, if not.
Okay.
No, not all in Spanish. Only one word in
Okay,
Spanish.
yes, I have to control that the editorial point, maybe.
Okay, and I don't understand very well your idea. So to control, no, to think about or to follow the editor's requirements. This is
Yes, exactly.
okay, okay, but this is afterwards. So first, what should you do? So you think about your paper. So how will you start researching and writing and making a draft? What do you do?
Research about the different editorials where we can send the paper.
Okay, so how to choose the right journal? This is what you mean?
Yes, choosing the right journal depends on the area and specifically in the impact factor to publish.
Okay,
So,
okay. Right.
So,
So,
if my paper is not original or have not enough strong paper to publish with a journal with a high impact factor, research another editorials that have another impact factor lower that I could try to put my paper there.
okay, I understand what you mean. So, so you will target a paper that is not so strict. So according to the impact factor, you will research for one that is not so strict. Is that the idea?
That's right.
Okay. Okay, and how, so which characteristics should your paper have? So it should be concise, it should be long or short or interesting or not interesting or how?
First of all, original.
Original, okay. Another one. I would say concise, clear, interesting. Interesting for whom?
Interesting for the public where it's
That are reading the journal, okay?
sure.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting for the people in general, and interesting also for the journal, because the journal, so you should motivate the readers and at the same time choose something that the journal would like to publish, okay?
Yeah, but interesting for the reviewers.
Interesting for the reviewers, okay, very good, okay. So what kind of journal should you choose? Well, you said that. One that is not so strict. So especially if you are a beginner, don't choose a top journal. So, because it will be very difficult to be accepted, okay? So, you should start with one that has not such a reputation. I mean, because of the language. It's not because of the way of the subject you choose, or because of your knowledge, because you are experts in what you do, but because this is international, okay? Well, then, should you submit your paper to many journals or just one?
Just one.
Just one. Why?
Because if two journals accept the same papers, I have a very big problem.
Okay. So what would you do? Well, you would do submit to just one. That is the answer, no? Okay, right. Have you experienced in this? Have you targeted any international journal until now?
Yes.
Yes? Could you tell us, could you share your experience?
Awful.
Awful. Okay. Why? So because from your mistakes, you learn a lot. So it's not a bad practice, no, either. So why do you say awful? Which were the mistakes?
Because I tried a high impact factor journal, and I received a lot of comments to make again the paper and to submit another journal.
Okay, very interesting. What did they say in general? So because of mistakes in the language, because of other mistakes about the subject you chose?
The problem was the paper was about using an artificial intelligence algorithm in some kind of medicine, specifically in an electrocardiogram.
And wasn't it original?
No, it's original, but the problem is we submitted in a biomedicine research journal, and they said it's better to submit to another journal that is related to artificial intelligence. And the artificial intelligence say that the characteristic of the paper should be in a biomedicine journal. So both journals say that.
So the opposite one, so they were not interested. No, I mean, when I asked you if it was original, no, if it was really written by you, if it was an original idea.
Yes. It was an additional idea related to a research project in the university.
Okay, well, and this was the most important reason for the rejection?
No, it's I select another journal with a lower impact factor and was no problem, and the journal was a general journal about anything to publish.
Okay, and finally you submitted it?
Yeah, finally, yes.
Okay, well, any other experience? Come on, don't be shy. Let's talk. Any other? No? Well, okay. We continue.
I have started with publications. I have started with publications in very general papers, journals, and then I have a scale to another most with the most impact factor journals, and my last experience was that the editor told me that my paper is completely out of the scope of the journal. So
okay. that is a very good point. That is that you should take into account the scope of the journal, because that could be another mistake. If it is completely out of the scope, you are rejected.
yes,
So
that's right.
they said that, and this was the main reason.
This was the reason that the editor told me about the paper, and none of the reviewers told nothing about the paper, because the editor rejected immediately. But the point is that my paper was about a tool of bioinformatics, and the journal is bioinformatics, of Oxford's bioinformatics. So I don't know which was the real reason behind the rejection, but okay.
Well, it was an experience.
Yes,
okay.
That's right.
Okay. Well, any other one would like to comment? No?
Maybe we can make a clap with Mariano.
Yes?
Okay, Javier.
Okay. Anything could happen here in this course. You can be partners. Okay, once you have chosen your journal, so what should you do? This was a question in one of the tasks that was rather tricky.
Read some related papers that was published at the journal in order to identify the type of paper that the journal accepts.
Okay, right, very good. That's a good point. So you need to know a lot to have information about the journal you are targeting. So don't submit directly. So read a lot about the journal, okay? So this is very important. It's the same as when you are meeting a new company, and then you should know a lot about the company before the meeting. This is something like that, okay? Well, and the next, what can you find in the, well, this is another thing. So after you have chosen your journal, you should read the guidelines. So apart from reading information of the journal that you are targeting, you should read the guide for authors. So this is something that you should take into account a lot. So the guide for authors should be like the Bible, okay? Read it many times, read the requirements all the time, be very strict with that, and be calm, don't hurry, take a lot of time to write. And so I know that we are always in a hurry, but in this case, don't hurry. This is one recommendation that I think will work a lot, because you need to review many times, okay? So what do you find in the guide for authors? What can you find there?
The rules, the structure that you must follow for,
Yes.
the publishment.
Okay, the rules, the requirements, the instructions,
Yeah.
and you can find there the way in which this journal wants you to write with many details, as for example, what? Which details do you need to follow?
Where do you have to put the epigraph, is the word in English, of each image of your paper?
Okay, so yes, how to upload
Yeah,
the images. I think this is what you want to say.
yeah. The
Okay.
description, the description of each image,
Yes, okay. The description of each image,
the references.
the references, the punctuation. Be
Yeah,
careful with spelling, with punctuation. Then the format.
yeah,
So they instruct you about how you should format, which margin, centimeters, millimeters, everything, okay? So you should follow that strictly. All right. Well, now let's go on with, so this is about the journal. Now we are going to speak about your paper. So,
with the last questions, I found a cover letter to send to the editorial too. I didn't find the cover letter in the Access journal of publications. Another editorials ask for a cover letter. What is the cover letter and
well,
what?
a cover letter is the letter that you should attach to the paper. Yes, some journals maybe ask for that. It's the same as when you write a resume, that you send your resume, your CV, no? The resume is a CV, and some companies want a cover letter with the CV. I suppose you are speaking about that.
And do you have a model of that cover letter to? Because some editorials need and others don't, but an example could be better in the course.
Okay. We are not going to deal in this course with that because we need to have an order. So we are going to deal with the abstract mainly during the course. In this first unit, we were speaking about the paper in general to have a better idea, but really we are going deeper with the conditions, the characteristics of the abstract. But I then send me a message. I could find something for you or publish it in general, okay?
Okay, thanks, Matilde.
Okay, why don't you send me then a message to remind me, okay?
Right.
Okay, thank you. So which is the general structure of a paper? So we said that the paper needs a structure. The abstract also needs a structure. It should be organized with...
Yes, it should contain an introduction, methods, results, the discussion, and the conclusions.
All right. So
references, of course.
Yes, sure. But the general structure is the acronym IMRD. Okay, so think about that always. Yeah, so in order to be organized. And besides, is a structure that every journal will follow, will ask for. So what do you have, so what do they contain? What should each part contain? Before, do you write the introduction at the very beginning?
No.
So you should write it afterwards, at the end, let's say. Well, not totally at the end, but okay. So what should you write first?
The first I write is the introduction.
You write the introduction?
Yes.
Because, yes, so it's not what they say.
No, perdón, lo digo en castellano, me había confundido. Lo que no escribo primero es el resumen es lo último que escribo.
No, but the resumen is the abstract.
Yes.
The introduction is part of the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Sería la introducción del paper.
Yes.
So, in general, what everybody says is that you should write the introduction after writing methods, results, and conclusion. So I think that it's a right way, because in general, at the beginning, you don't know how you are going to introduce everything. So it's better to have first the whole information of what you want to share, and then to write the introduction, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, maybe.
Okay, and so what do you write in the part that is methods? What should you write there? What should it include?
All the techniques apply.
Okay, the techniques that you used for the experiment or for what you are doing. Okay.
Yes.
In this case, which is a tense that you use in general when you speak about methods? What do you think? It is something finished, no?
Yes, in the past.
Okay, could be in the simple past or the simple present. All right, then you have results. What are the results?
Excuse me?
What are the results?
Yes, results should be written in the past too.
In the past.
Okay, no, but I mean, all right. So this is about English, but what do you mean by results?
The results of the research.
Right, these are the findings, no?
Yes.
What you found in your experiment or in your experience. All right, and then the conclusion, what does it include?
The more important result.
The most important results could be, what else?
Future works related to.
Okay, the future of this experiment or also your, because if at the beginning you had a hypothesis, you in the conclusion, what are you saying about this?
If we validated the hypothesis or not.
All right, you validate it. Very good, very good. All right. Okay. And there, sorry, speaking about the grammar, about tenses, in the conclusion, you could use again the simple present. All right? Well, which order should you follow? So what we said, methods, results, conclusion, then
introduction,
the introduction, and finally,
the abstract.
What? The abstract and the title.
And the title.
Okay, very good. Once you have finished writing your paper, so think about it. You finish writing your paper. So what should you do before submitting? Sorry?
Another person must read it.
another person should read it. Who could be that person?
Our director.
Okay, your director, a colleague,
Partner.
a partner, a peer. So somebody who has experience about that.
Yes.
Okay, not only technically, could be experience in, so it would be better, experience in submitting international papers. Okay?
Yes.
Try to find somebody with experience. All right. And now we are going to see something about the abstract. So the abstract, when should you write it? We said at the end.
At the end.
Okay?
At the end,
At
yes.
the end. So which characteristics should it have? So how do you write the abstract?
It should answer the WH questions out your abstract or paper.
Yes.
It will be short, concise.
Okay, concise, yes.
Concise,
Short,
yes.
according to each journal, no? But more or less how many words?
Between 250 and 350.
150 to 250. Well, it depends on the journal.
Depends
So
on the journal.
you should follow.
But usually no more
always.
than 300.
No more than 300. Good. You should follow the guide for authors. Remember that. Always follow the guide for authors. Good. So why is the abstract important? What do you think?
Because the other researchers read the first part of the paper that you read is the abstract, in order to see what in which consists the research.
Good.
That's right.
Should motivate the readers.
Sorry?
Should motivate the readers.
It should motivate the reader. Very good. Because when you research in the web, you can find abstracts in general.
Yes.
No?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if a reader is interested in your abstract, what will he do? He or she do?
She read all the paper.
Right. So it is like the door to the paper.
Yes.
So that's why it's so important. It is important for the journal because in this way they will sell the paper. And it is important for you. Why? It's really very important for you. Why? Why are you submitting the abstract? What do you want what do you want the journal to do with the abstract? It's very easy. Why are you submitting the abstract?
It's a resume of the paper. The way that other people can be interested in reading your paper.
Okay, this is for the reader. It's important for the journal and for the reader, but why is it important for you? This is my question. Because
it demonstrates that I finish a work, a paper, because it's the last part that I made of the paper.
No, because it is important for you because you want the paper to be accepted. So if they accept your abstract, it is the way of being accepted, okay?
Yes.
So it's the first step. So it's very important. So as this is the first step, it's very important. If you have the acceptance of the abstract, you could have the acceptance of the paper, okay?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's why it's so important. Good.
Is it where a reviewer, the first things to continue the paper is to approve or accept the abstract?
Could you repeat? I didn't hear you so well.
If I were a reviewer, the first things to continue to the paper is to accept the abstract.
Okay.
If I don't accept the abstract, I reject the paper directly.
Exactly, exactly. Very good, very good. That's why it's so important. Good. How long should it be? Well, we said that it should be concise, no more than 250, 300 words. Which sections should it have? So it's similar to the paper.
Yes.
Yes.
So the first sentence, what should you say in the first sentence?
It's like an introduction of the research.
Is the
Motivation.
objective,
Yeah.
your motivation, okay, your purpose. So why you are writing the abstract. The second sentence,
The methodology.
before the methodology, what should you say? You should introduce the problem, okay?
Yeah.
You should introduce this problem statement. Then
Yes.
the methods. Then you write about the methods. How many sentences about the methods? Many?
No,
No.
not more.
No. Should
A
be,
brief discussion, a brief description.
yes, only 2 sentences probably, or
Yes.
3 at the most. And then you have the results, the findings, okay? And
Yes.
what shouldn't you include? That you shouldn't write. What?
The originally. Result.
Images.
The originally.
Well, images. The original, you said? What do you want to say?
Sí, quise decir
Reference.
que hay que resaltar la originalidad
Ah, okay.
en el abstract.
Okay, so you should emphasize yes, that it is an original idea. Okay, right. It's
Exactly.
nice. It is innovative. Okay.
Yes.
But what shouldn't you include?
References to other bibliography or
References, figures, abbreviations. Okay, so don't include that. Good. What types of abstracts do you know? So this was one of the questions in the task.
Yes. Informative.
Yes.
Structured.
Yes.
Unstructured. And descriptive.
Descriptive. Okay. Structured and unstructured. So these are different classifications. Okay. Because in one of the questions was rather tricky. So
yes.
there are more than one classification.
Yes.
Okay, good. Which tenses should you use? Well, we said that in general it's the simple past when you are speaking about methods or results. Could you use a passive voice?
No.
Well, in maybe
You need.
not, yes.
Oh, you must identify when you are speaking in formal or informal language. If it
Yes.
is informal, you could use the passive voice.
Well, this is something that in general they recommend not to use a lot of passive voice. But in the paper, in general they use the passive voice.
Yes.
There are a lot of passive voices used in the papers. You can read about that. So the most important thing is to use the language properly, okay? So
Yes.
if you don't make mistakes in grammar, you have like a 60% of acceptance or more. So I would say a 70%. It's not that they don't, they are not interested in what you are writing, but it may happen that you wrote about something very interesting, very important, and anyway, if you write it with many grammar mistakes, you are rejected. So it's like that. They are very, very strict. Okay, so always think about reviewing your paper many times, your abstract many times. Okay?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
so which are the most common mistakes? For example, we talked about that. You said that you targeted so that the scope of the journal was not right. So this is one mistake. Another one, which other could be?
Grammar mistakes.
Well, grammar mistakes. One of the most important grammar mistakes is the omission of the article. So that's why when you wrote the presentation, I made some corrections about that. When you say, for example, I am engineer, I am an engineer, I work at the, well, for example, no article if there is a proper name. But if you mentioned something, for example, I work at a bank. The bank, it is because you have already defined the bank, okay? So we are going to deal with this anyway, but try to think about that. Some recommendations that I would like to give you. Read papers of very good sources, reliable sources. Which are reliable sources? What do you consider reliable sources, for example?
For sure, a Rincón del Vago, sure not.
Okay, it's not a reliable source. Let's see, which other?
Sources from journals or editorials that have a high impact factor.
Yes, very good. But there is one important thing. You may, because in the web, if you search, there are many papers that have lots of mistakes, and they are published. But usually, if you go to the author is probably, I have nothing against them, but probably is from Asian countries Chinese, Japanese, well, and maybe Spanish too, Latin Americans, of course. So there are a lot of published papers that have mistakes. So the best thing is to have a native author. If you have a Canadian, English, British, so British one in general, Americans, well, maybe they have mistakes, but it's not very sure to find mistakes there, okay? So go to these authors. Well, and any other mistake? No? No? Okay. Let's go on. Now, we were speaking about subject-verb agreement. Okay? So I have here 2 sentences that I took from your discussion that I would like to read because I want this to be clear. You have a lot of these long sentences in the papers. And as they are very long, the subject is very long, and the predicate too, sometimes we are confused because we don't know finally which is the correlation between the subject and the verb, okay? So that's why these sentences are important. Let me move these to another place, so all of you, okay, so I can read. Sunlight as a free source of energy and clean agent for several physical and chemical reactions constitutes an increasing interest for both science and technology. So which is the subject there? What do you think?
Sunlight.
Only sunlight?
Clean agent.
No.
Chemical reactions.
Chemical reactions.
Sunlight as a free source of energy and clean agent for several physical and chemical reactions.
Okay, very good. So think about the boxes. Remember that we talked about boxes? So all this is the box of the subject, all. And if you pay attention, you have reactions, that is in plural. So the first thing that we do is to think that reactions is linked to the verb, but this is a mistake because the most important noun is sunlight. Why do you know this? How do you know that this is the most important? What about as a free source of energy and clean agent for several physical and chemical reactions? Could you omit that or not?
Yes.
Yes, you could omit it. You could say sunlight constitutes.
Constitute, claro.
Okay?
Yes.
So that this is the key to know. In general, it's at the beginning of the box. Okay? Well, and then you have another one that is the same, a review of the most promising lightweight, and I cannot read here something. Well, I cannot see the continuation. So a review of the most, could somebody read it, please?
A review. The second paragraph?
Yes, the second phrase, the second sentence. Yes, go on.
A review of the most promising lightweight material. Bueno, ahí no veo porque me está tapando justo el...
Ah, you have the same problem.
Sí,
Yes.
sí.
Ah, okay, all of you.
Go back with the presentation.
There. Okay, it disappeared. So, could you go on?
Yes. A review of the most promising lightweight materials and significant technology gaps outlines the need for research and development work across a wide range materials, vehicle applications and enabling technologies.
Okay. It's a review of the most promising. Okay, so this is the same case. So you have the box of the subject that is all that review of technology gaps. Or this is the box of the subject, okay? But a review is the main noun that is related to the verb in the third person, outlines. Remember, the third person is with S, he, she, it. And this is typical because you have an of. When you have an of, a review of the most promising, in general, always, it is the word that is before the of is the noun, okay?
Yeah.
In the last sentence I say it is very obvious. It's not the example that we wanted here, because techniques, that is plural, is next to the verb. So it's obvious that you need a have, okay?
Yes.
So that's why I said that it's not that it's wrong. The example is right, but it's not the example that applied here. Okay. Well, and the next and the last is the subject verb predicate. So here, I want you to tell me the boxes of the subject verb predicate. So upon review of the results, which is the subject that continues?
The result.
No. So go on with the sentence. I'm going to read it. Upon review of the results, it was determined that the new installation did not pass all the requirements of the NFPA 556. So which is the subject?
The new installation.
The new installation. Remember the boxes? The boxes has an order. Subject, verb, predicate. Always the same.
Did
So,
not pass is the verb, and the predicate is all the requirements of the NFPA 556.
Was determined is the verb, that's right.
Yes.
Before the verb, what should you have? Before the verb?
The subject.
The subject. So which is the subject before the verb?
Review.
Which? Review?
It.
No.
It is the subject. That is references to the review.
Well, we don't know upon review of the, no. As this is a paragraph of something that was written before, we don't know what it is referred to. So they are speaking about something. So I don't know. Could you omit upon review of the results?
Yes.
Yes, yes. You could say directly, upon review of the results, it's a detail. It's something, so you want to start saying that there were results, there were findings. So this is a conclusion. So upon review of the results, is something that you could omit. You could start saying, it was determined Ah, no, sorry, excuse me. It's not, it refers to something that was written before. The it is just the beginning of the sentence because you need a subject. When you don't have any other possibility there. It was determined is the same as saying I determined. Do you understand?
Yes.
You couldn't say I determined. It, the fact was determined. Okay? Do you understand? Well, so it was determined that something happened. So, subject, verb, predicate, no more. So don't change anything. The boxes are always like that. Then you continue saying, however, and in the next sentence, so which is the subject, the verb, and the predicate? The standard includes stringent requirements.
Standard, the standard.
The standard includes the verb, stringent requirements, the predicate. And then you start another box. So again, the improved performance of the material is what?
The subject.
Should not be underappreciated, the verb.
The
So
verb.
you see that always there are boxes. So if you adopt this method, you will have a very good result because it should be, English is very structured. So you don't have any other thing more than subject, verb, predicates.
Okay.
And the boxes start, of course, to be one inside the other, and they become longer, okay? In the last, based on the literature search and experiments, this standard, in combination with other fire protection technologies, provides a basis for improved vehicle fire safety. What parts of this sentence could be omitted?
In combination with other fire protection technologies.
Yes, could be omitted because it is an explanation of this standard, okay?
Based on the literature search and experiment.
Okay, two. You could say this standard provides a basis for improved vehicle. And you have again subject, verb, predicate. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is it clear? Yes. If not, please ask.
Yes.
Because you have a possibility now. Yes?
It's clear. But cutting all the phrases like that, I have a paper of one sheet only.
No. Then the boxes, of course, start to be more complex. But this is an abstract. This is the last part of an abstract. Is the conclusion. Okay?
Okay.
So little by little, we are starting with the simplest sentences. Then you will have more complex sentences. Don't worry. So wait. Okay. Well, questions. But before saying thank you very much. Questions. What questions would you like to ask? Something you don't understand, something about the task, about something you would like to do, I don't know, mistakes. Okay, don't be shy.
I would like if you could put the assignment in another forum, not in the forum of Tudas, because the forum dudas is only for some kind of doubt that I have about the subject, but if there are another forum to do the assignments, it would be better.
Okay. Well, we'll see, because somebody else told me about that. The thing is that we try to put these fora where for doubts. So you could ask questions there, of course. So it's a way of commenting mistakes, of commenting doubts. That's why we call them foro de dudas. But if you want, we can change the title. No problem.
No,
Any
it's
other?
no problem, but the problem is that I do not enter to this forum because it's only doubt, and I don't have any doubt, so I don't read it. And when I realize there is assignments inside that, so that's the problem.
Okay, okay. But I sent the message to you. I sent messages saying what you should do. To enter
Yes,
there.
after that.
After that, well, okay. Finally, you saw the message. All right. Well, any other thing? Any other doubt? Something you want to comment?
No.
No?
No, not for my part.
Well, you are happy.
Yes.
Well, okay. Okay.
Very.
Well, thank you very much. I would like our tutor, our expert here, because thanks to her, we are doing so many nice activities, Ana Maria Andrada, to tell you something about the papers.
Wow. Yes, please, Matilde, stop sharing so we can see everybody.
Yes.
Sorry?
I'm sorry.
What did I do?
Stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
Yes, because we have 3 minutes to finish.
Yes.
Well, just to say that when you start to be interested in publishing worldwide, you start a long way, because writing for a journal or applying to a conference, in the many ways you have to do it, like short papers, full papers, posters, work in progresses, is a huge effort. And the effort is exactly the same if you apply for an organization and a publication with higher standards that with other ones that are much more in a lower level. So my recommendation is always to be very careful, because as we are talking of hard work, because the better the obsessive you can be, because you have to review many times, you have to do a qualified work to be accepted. So put your object as an objective to deal with a qualified organization and a qualified conference or journal or anything you want to apply, because the work is hard and it's exactly the same. So point to excellence. Nowadays, we don't have a choice. We have to be in the work. It's not a choice anymore if you include or be involved with colleagues all over the world or not. It's a must. So considering it's a must, and considering all this will be a hard work, make your choice with organizations that will give you, on the other side, a program committee, high qualified, with which you can interact. I was talking with the other group about the tools you will find. If you are accepted, they usually have platforms with artificial intelligence about managing natural language, and you will be in touch with a new world of how to format your work, how to deal with suggestions, how to make a presentations, and you have the opportunity to be in touch if it is a conference with keynote speakers and interact with them, and a new world will open before to you if you make the right choice with the right organization, highly qualified organizations all over the world. This is what mainly I had to say, and I congratulate you for doing all this effort. This is quite an effort to do, and to take profit and advantage of Matilda's knowledge. Just to say that.
Well, thank you, Ana Maria. Thank you very much. So yes, take advantage of what she says, because she's a very experienced lecturer. Okay. Well, thank you for coming. Really for your participation. I hope to see you to go on very actively in the course. Okay. Well, thank you. Bye-bye.
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 See you.
Bye-bye.